Alright, just so you guys know, this is the second time recording this. Couldn't get through it the first time. Don't know if I'll get through it this time. But here we go.
It was so horrific, and I couldn't sleep for almost a week. It's like Q said, those who know can't sleep. I still don't sleep well sometimes due to this, and so I'll go into this, but I want people to know if you have children in the room, you might think about seriously taking them out for this part. Use your own discretion. If you don't think you can listen to this, don't. I will go into this in graphic detail. It's very disturbing what I saw. There's 2 different frazzeldrip videos that I saw. And so it was on his laptop, and the policemen that I saw were throwing up and retching and crying, and a lot of them just couldn't live with it. They actually saw way more than I saw, and mine was bad enough. A lot of them, I don't know if they actually committed suicide or they were suicided, but a lot of the police that saw this aren't alive anymore. With the purpose of this is twofold: to bring up a demonic through the blood of the child. It's a witchcraft. The child's in the pentagram circle symbol thing. They're doing the incantation, and then they start torturing this young person that is, in one case, chained to a tree, and in the other case, to a bed. And the one with the bed had a doctor in attendance. The one with the tree, which was a 10-year-old girl chained to a tree, was out in a forest area. It looked like an area I'm somewhat familiar. It looked like an area I know on the East Coast somewhere, in the big forest like you see in the Blair Witch Project, with those endless forests that go, if you don't have a compass and know how to orienteer, you get lost as heck. And so it's some big forested area. It's not trees like on the West Coast. It's more eastern, where you see more deciduous trees and less pine. And so she's chained to a small tree, this 10-year-old girl, and Uma Abedin and Hillary Rodham Clinton take this girl, and they start doing the fire and the symbol, and then they start cutting her up. And in the process of this, they cut her face on both of them. The one with the bed, the doctor does it, but they do it really crudely. The doctor does it surgically, but they cut her face off, and then Hillary wears it dancing around the girl, laughing and giggling, and they're all laughing, and they take the blood and cover themselves. They're naked and they cover themselves in the blood. Excuse me, it's getting me a little woozy. And they laugh and dance around her, and she's screaming, "Why are you doing this to me?" And finally she's just begging for them, "Please just kill me." And then once they have the child sufficiently terrorized, which they did, in this case, this child had a lot of fortitude, so to get her, that wasn't enough. To get her really terrified, like they do in seppuku in Japanese martial arts, harikiri is the term they used in World War II. They cut her with a Z across her stomach and pulled out her intestine. And then, excuse me, I gotta take a drink of water. Then, once she was sufficiently terrified and still alive, they reach up with, looks like some kind of forceps, kind of bent, very slender at the end, into the nose and up into jamming it up into the brain. They knew how to do this, and they each one ate half of it. Hillary did it and offered it to Uma, and she bit half of it, and then the walnut, as they call it, and Hillary ate the other part, and then the blood's coming out the nose, so they're kind of sucking on her nose.
Oh, God.
And drinking blood. Then they take and cut the artery on the neck. I think it was the carotid artery. The jugular vein, rather. Excuse me, wrong area of the body there. I'm getting woozy, I can't think right. They cut the jugular vein, the girl bleeds out, they capture the blood, and drink a lot of that, and run a coagulation of blood, and get really super high. And that's when you can see the demonic come off this horrendously dark thing, come up and do the bidding they do that they learned from the Book of Solomon to do their bidding, and the girl dies as they capture all her blood and stuff.
In today's Crime Trackers report, is it an abandoned homeless camp or is it something more sinister? It was found by veterans on patrol in the area of Valencia 919. News 4 Tucson's Lupita Murillo is live at the site now with the latest.
So this is the camp that the veterans found about a mile from I-19 in Valencia. And the one thing that's interesting about this, you come over to this area and it's got these covers on top. You know, it looks like cushionings and everything. It doesn't look too obvious. People would probably pass it by. I'm about 6'3". The one thing about it, you have to like duck to get down here and in this area. And it's when these vets came and found that area right there. That's
the prison cell. Only kids are being held down here. And I can tell you exactly how. Come in. I remember this whole thing they built over to conceal this. And there's a plastic tube chamber in here where the kids are going in and out. I'll shine my light. You see a piece of wood, and it looks like that the wood gets slid down there, and the kids are crawling up. If you look down in there when they let them out.
Yeah.
But there's different toys down there, little food bags. You can actually stick it in pretty. And then that board's used to slide them up. Yeah. The only way, because they're not going to reach down in there and grab them, so I guess they're having them slide up. But this is all the way down there. A child's not going to be able to get out of here, small child. And you're not going to hear them scream. Yeah. They're enclosed. You're not going to see them from the sky. Our drone didn't pick this up. It just picked up a dirty tar.
All right, here it looks like wrist restraints on a tree. I don't know what, for the life of me, what else those would be used for there. Right there, grape tree.
This is the main spot under the awning right there where those are. Those are slip restraints. There's the coyotes. And there's a little prison cell right over there behind you where the children were being held down in there. There's a swing and everything out there. And we believe that this place is going to be used again. They're going. If they don't know that we found it, then they're only using the spot. It's not an everyday thing. This is just a drop point. And I guarantee you there's probably more of these. They repeat these ideas, same as they do their tunnels. Mm-hmm. So now we have a starting point. We actually know what to look for, and they're creatures of habit, so we know where their target areas are. This is easily accessible off I-19 corridor. So all the human trafficking is going up through Tucson. This is a spot where you're going to be able to hide children. Yep. Literally, this whole thing is strictly for kids, from the swings to all the toys, to the board that's down there, so kids have to crawl out that little prison cell. There's a little toilet over there with a child's vanity. You know, they did a lot to make the children comfortable while they're out here and try to make it almost like fun. So they're sick, twisted mind, and the children don't even really know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it's creepy here. I'll give you that. I mean, there's no logical reason why this place would exist.
And this took time to build. This took a long time. They had to dig this out. So you see the
What's
shovels.
What's underneath there, Lewis?
It's just a reinforcement barrel for their little.
I didn't really know what child pornography was. You know, we all sort of have an idea of it, and I was afraid to ask as a mother, you know, because it would be very painful to hear. And I felt like I had to ask, though, and I feel like I have to share it with you guys now. And it is disturbing, and I want to warn you, but I feel it's my responsibility to tell you guys, because it is the truth. And I believe if we all knew this, we would dedicate much more of ourselves to stopping it. So when I asked what child pornography entailed, yes, it's nude images of boys and girls under the age of 18. But now, because of high-speed internet, it's also videos very prominently. And videos of kids, and by kids I mean prepubescent, visibly prepubescent.
And you're probably a handler.
They make the distinction because of the internet and there's so much content, these pedophiles are desensitized. Because of that, the kids are getting younger and the content is getting that much more devastating. So when this law enforcement officer told me this, I asked him how young are the young kids he's seeing, and he told me infants.
I can't even, oh my God.
And I have a 6-month-old baby. So I said, what does that mean? You know,
So why are you
what does
fucking
an infant
smiling
mean?
then?
He said, with the umbilical cord still attached. I know, it's so devastating to hear this. And
So
I'm
devastating
really
that you're
sorry
smiling?
to share this, but I'm grateful that you guys are listening, because this is actually happening, and it's important that we know this and that it resonates with us, so that we think about this in our days and in our personal life. So I asked them what happens in these videos, and you know, unspeakable things happen, but I'm again going to speak about them, because I feel like if these kids are experiencing this, the least that they deserve is for us to hear what is actually happening to them. So no, it's not just touching. There is penetration. There is extreme torture and bondage. There is bestiality, which is having an animal penetrate the child or infant. There is incest. I mean, they said you think of it, anything you could think of, it's out there and it's being traded, and there's 30 to 50 million files a day being traded that we know of.
I can guarantee you.
Oh, no.
Yes, I'm awake. It's real life. Why don't you believe me?
What? You are
Why
awake?
don't you believe
Who's
me?
touching you? That's okay. So who's touching you? No, I do want to know, because I care about you. I do want to know. So who's touching you? Who's been touching you?
What is it? Mommy, what does it have? It always makes me feel bad about myself.
What is he touching?
Baby.
What does he do?
Like, touches it and scratches it. 'Cause one time I woke up and there was blood in my underwear.
Oh.
I'm telling the truth.
I'm not, honey, I am not.
And mommy says he always makes me feel bad about myself, and I don't like the fighting or any of it. I'm not going. I'm tired of it.
Listen, if you felt so bad about yourself, how did you get the school lead in the play when you were very young? You did gymnastics, you did
Star Macaulay Culkin has blown the whistle on the entertainment industry.